Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of PKM Weekly. So let's see what's been in store for us from the past week. Obsidian, you've got Nicole's remarkable Obsidian workflow. So basically she shares how she bridges her analog and digital note-taking. She uses a remarkable e-ink tablet and with Obsidian to get the best out of both. So basically it's a two-step pipeline, community plugin Remarkable Sync. That's by Tim Dommett, which automatically syncs handwritten pages from the Remarkable into her Obsidian Vault as PDFs. And then as the PDFs alone aren't searchable, she runs OCR to convert them into the handwriting into editable text, which then is done through an AI agent set up for full automation. So you can see the full setup of how she gets it done, how she does it in this 11 or so minute video that she prepared. And if not, you can also see the full write-up here on her blog, what it does, how you can do it, and how she gets the best out of both. So well worthwhile checking out if you have a remarkable tablet, you do handwriting, and you want that handwriting into Obsidian to get the best out of both worlds. A few interesting Reddit posts which I come across this week. So one was just asking a simple question of what regularly annoys you in terms of Obsidian. 60 comments so far, so well worthwhile having a look at this one just to see what people say and what annoys them, just to see if you're in the same boat. This one was my Obsidian set up for 2 years of PhD research, everything that's worked and everything that hasn't. So how the OP got the 5 years of neuroscience PhD, how Obsidian helped them in the entire work research for the last 2 years. I basically go through the whole thing, so quite a lot of upvotes and comments as well, so well worthwhile having a look at this one too if you want to know more. And Obsidian Burnout, want to start over again, so been using Obsidian for about 9 months, quite a steep learning curve, and basically they want to restart just to get it fresh. So again, if you are in a similar position, well worthwhile having a look at this one just to see what OP and other users are commenting on. That was it for Obsidian. Thymer, they've got the finishing touches on the two-way sync. So if we just check this one out, you can see here Markdown Mirror is syncing to the MD file from the Thymer page. And it's basically just updating everything that's going on in real-time sync. So that's something great if you want the best of both, the database for the power and the Markdown for having files in Markdown forever. And next up, what they do say is on the road to beta is a whole bunch of UI editor polishes, bug fixes, and then iOS test flight, which then hopefully will mean that after that, we will be in a position to receive the beta app of Thymer. So looking forward to that one. Tana Outliner, not much happening of late. It's been really quiet in the Slack and there's not been many updates in the Tana Outliner app. So something to keep an eye on, but they do say apparently that the hosted MCP is going to be released when it's possible next week, which is going to be this week coming. So hopefully then we will see a bit more updates and things that are happening in Tana. Vellum, still no app yet, but they are posting on the Discord quite a lot of things and showcasing images of what it's going to look like. So you can see here, very similar to a Tana setup. You've got the Today Notes, Library, Daily Notes, Inbox and Archive, and I'm guessing you can change then these sorts of views, types, tags, etc. And then you've got the full outliner with some linking and transclusions included. So looking forward to testing this one out. And as usual, if you want to join the Discord, please do, because the devs are quite active there, just keeping everyone updated with what they're working on and also taking feedback from users in the PKM space, so you can help shape the app. Logseq, there were some updates from Tiensen in response to a few questions that were asked. So one is that they're working on making sync stable and cutting a beta release of it. And they're going to use OCaml experiments. Yes, they've been working well. It's quite quick, 2 to 4 times performance improvements, etc. And then they want to get that done, get the beta out, and then build Logseq Pro, so that then finally this should be in a position to actually improve the app rather than just still working on the rewrite. So a little bit of time still to go, but I'm sure soon enough it'll be with us. Capacities, Beth did a video on getting things done with Capacities, so how to implement David Allen's getting things done methodology in Capacities. So it just basically goes through the initial setup and project tracking and everything else in between. So a 20-minute video, and you can see quite a lot of things that Beth goes through, how to set it all up and how to get it done. So well worthwhile checking this out if you want a getting things done methodology within Capacities. Octarine, they've released version 0.47, multi-tree select, so select multiple notes and folders directly in the file tree, and then you can just act on them together. So as you can see here, he selected the folder and various different files within that folder. So then you can tweak it and do whatever. Graph views have been improved and various different other improvements as well that the team has implemented. Outl, this is a new one from Avellino. He's my internet friend, and he's been building a local first markdown app called Outl.app. So if we check it out, quite easy to install. You can download it, install it from the command line or the terminal, and it basically notes that don't corrupt when you sync them. It's a local first outliner, plain markdown, source of truth. The CDRT lives in a sidecar, not in your files. Two devices sync peer-to-peer on the same time, end-to-end encrypted, no account, no cloud, no server that holds your notes. So basically it's your notes. You do whatever you want with them, and there's no risk of them being corrupted or lost or stored on someone else's server. So well worthwhile checking that out. It is all open source as well. So you can see here the full code base and various different other things that they've posted online. So well worthwhile having a look at the app and just to see if you get a feel for it and like it. So great stuff on that one. Noteey, they've got a new version, whiteboard export to PNG PDF, and it's now much more stable. So when you see it, you can get the improved text editing experience with automatic text resizing based on content, etc. So there's various other things as well that have been released within Noteey. So well worthwhile having a look at that one to see what's updated. And then Verso Notes, so the app that I'm building is taking shape quite nicely, so still not ready to release it yet, but I have been playing around with a few things. And now what we've got, if I can move this to this window here, we do have a canvas view, so we can do a text box, which is plain text. We can also do a note, so for example, if we wanted to do a Discord bot setup, we can have the note there, and also a link, and then we can link these two notes together, or link this one here, and do whatever is needed to be done. Which I'm not sure why that didn't link there, but let's just link it to this one. So it's basically just as a whiteboard that you would expect. You can move it around, that moves everything around. Played it a little bit more with the bases. So there's the book one that you can play around with, tweaking things as you go along. Much more responsive, much quicker. So you can play around with that one and a few other things as well, just in terms of the notes and whatnot. So hoping that in the next week or so, I shall be in a position to release it. And that was it for this week. So thank you very much for being here, and I shall see you next week. Thanks for watching. Bye.